volumes. Right. You guys showed up.
Yes.
You knew the assignment here today and you showed up. So I thank you so very much for coming out here today. We are waiting. The congressmen and women are in HUD right now, delivering their letter, sending a strong message. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And so we are going to get this program started just as soon as they come out, but I wanted to thank you personally for showing up today and being here. And each and every day, we will be here fighting this good fight because housing programs at HUD are important and they matter. And they matter. Absolutely. Absolutely, yes, yes, and here comes our congressmen and women now. Let's give them a round of applause for showing up, for sending a strong message. We so appreciate that. And so we were getting the crowd started as you were in the building. We're so proud of you.
Thank you.
We are so proud of you. We are so proud of you for coming out here and showing up.
Thank you.
And so, again, my name is Renee Willis. I'm with the National Low-Income Housing Coalition. And I want to begin with a simple truth. And that truth is that housing is necessary and it matters. And it is a human right. And I thank you so much for being out this day to send a strong message. And even though we know that housing matters and that it is a human right, millions of people across this country, millions of people across this nation, for many of them, it's very difficult to find affordable housing. There is a shortage of affordable housing, more than 7.3 million rental homes available and affordable. So there is that shortage. And no state and no congressional district here in the United States has enough supply of affordable housing for people who need it. That's a problem. And so HUD programs are the backbone of our commitment to ensuring that every person, no matter their income, that they have a place to call home. And in the last few weeks, Elon Musk has threatened to decimate HUD programs. That's right. And these are programs that millions of people in rural communities, urban, suburban, tribal communities, that they rely on each and every day. And so today, we are here to tell Elon Musk and DOGE, enough is enough. Enough is enough. Keep your hands off housing programs. Enough is enough. Response will be the difference in this fight. So you showed up today, and again, you knew the assignment. And our collective action, our sustained advocacy, all of the unwavering commitments to affordable housing are the only ways that we meet this moment. So thank you for being here. And I want to take a moment to introduce Congresswoman Maxine Waters. Saying introduce, but we know her because she is a champion of housing programs, and she has always been a champion of housing programs. So I want to take this moment to welcome her and to thank her, and the podium is yours.
All right. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
First, I want to say that we're here at the Department of Housing, Urban and Rural Development. We came here peacefully today to deliver a message to the new gentleman that's the head of now HUD. His name is Scott Turner, and we came to deliver a letter to him, but they wouldn't let us do it. What? We were stopped by someone who said he was the chief of staff and somebody else who did not identify himself, and they said he was too busy. And I said, I'm prepared to stay here till hell freezes over. And so they wouldn't let us up. They tried to get us to give them the letter. We said, no, we didn't come here for you. We came here for Mr. Turner.
Yeah.
And so we'll just give Mr. Turner the message from out here. The first thing we need to let him know is that we're not afraid of DOGE. I want Elon Musk to know nobody elected him. The people did not select him. But the people are going to eject him. We came here because we understand the important role that HUD plays in our society. I want you to know that I am told that Elon Musk and Trump have terminated 780 housing agency staff and plans to fire at least half of all staff and close local offices. Are we going to let them do that? Are we going to let the people suffer because they've decided that they want to make tax cuts for the richest people in this country, the billionaires, and the only way to do that is take the money from the workers and the people who need it most? Are we going to allow them to do that? No! And so we understand they're canceling fair housing funding and civil rights. And I want you to know, Musk already has access to all of the discrimination data. As he breaks into our offices, whether it is here at HUD, or the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, or the Department of Education, or the Treasury, they're collecting data. They're collecting information on our lives. They will have everything, and I believe they're going to monetize it in every way that Elon Musk knows how to do. Are we going to let them do that? No! They're going to discriminate against the homeless based on sexual orientation and gender identity. Are we going to let them do that? No! They require seniors and people with disabilities to work. You know what their goal is? Their goal, more homes in the hands of private investors with no federal oversight. Ladies and gentlemen, this is outrageous. There are over 771,000 people experiencing homelessness in our country. They're on the streets. They're with makeshift tents. They don't have anywhere to go. Elon Musk's 13 children sleep good at night. What happens to the other children in America? Shortage of 14 million homes for rent or purchase. Rent's up 50%. Who can afford that? The rent is too damn high. The house prices are up 60% since 2019. HUD budgets less than 1% of all federal spending, provides safe, decent housing for seniors, people with disabilities, veterans, helped 8 million Americans become homeowners, 5 million renters in assisted and public housing, 2.6 million homeless housed during pandemic, veteran homelessness at lowest levels ever. Average American now spending over 30% of income on monthly rent and mortgage payments. Look, we have power if we decide to use it. We cannot allow our country to be undermined in the way that it is being done. As a matter of fact, what they're doing is a gangster move. They're moving in a gangster way on America. When did Elon Musk get the power? And how did he get the power? Simply because he spent $320 million on Trump's campaign? Is that why he got the power? He just bought the President of the United States of America? Well, I want him to know we're here in numbers and we ain't going nowhere. We'll be back here again and 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 again. And so, ladies and gentlemen, all the meetings that we're having, We're telling people and showing people about our power. And this is what we say. When we fight, we can win. When we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. And now we say to Trump and Elon, are you ready for this fight? Because we are. We are with it. We're going to demand that our country not be taken by those who only want to enrich the more billionaires of this country. Thank you very much. There are 117 members of Congress who have signed this letter. And we have... And we have with us today some of the members of Congress serving on the Financial Services Committee, where we have the oversight responsibility. And I want you to know we accept that responsibility. We are true to that responsibility, and we're not going to let DOGE or anybody else take it away from us. You ready? Yeah! Okay. All right, next.
Thank you.
Woo! Yes!
Thank you, thank you, thank you. We will next hear from Senator Van Hollen.
All right, thank you. Thank you. All right. Let's give it up for Maxine Waters, Congresswoman Maxine Waters. We are here to stand with all of the patriotic, hardworking federal employees at HUD. Are we standing with them? Yeah! And are we going to stand for this lawlessness from Elon Musk? No! Hell no. No. Are we going to put an end to this illegal Elon Musk operation? I want to ask, are we going to make sure we say hands off of public housing? Yeah! Are we going to say we're going to make sure hands off of affordable housing programs? Yeah! Yes. So this is the most corrupt bargain in American history, because as Congresswoman Waters says, as all of you know, Elon Musk contributed $280 million to elect Donald Trump. And now Donald Trump has given him the keys to the federal government to dismantle important priorities of the American people. This has nothing to do with government efficiency and everything to do with trying to rig the federal government for people like Elon Musk. Are we going to let them get away with that? No! Hell no. No. You know, there's something particularly grotesque about the richest man in the world trying to shut down affordable housing programs for working people. Are we going to let that happen? No! So this is a man who just a couple years ago sold 7 mansions in California. This is a man who is, according to the newspapers, building a secret 14,000 square foot compound in Texas for his 14 children. So he wants to take care of his family, right, but he wants to throw every other family out on the streets. Are we going to let that happen? No! Hell no. Now, Donald Trump, when he was campaigning around the country, he said on day one, he was going to lower prices. He was going to cut prices. Have you seen that? No. Rental prices are going up. Yeah. Housing prices are going up. Yeah. He's not cutting prices. What he is cutting important investments in affordable housing. Are we going to let that happen? No. And they want to lay the groundwork to have further cuts, to tax cuts for the very richest in this country at the expense of everybody else. Are we going to let that happen? No. Because all this is the big fix, right? When he was sworn in, Donald Trump said he wanted to bring the golden age to America. But that was the big lie. Yeah. Just like it's a big lie that the people who they've fired based on probationary status were underperforming when they all had glowing performance reports. Yes, sir. This is a big lie all around. The people that Donald Trump wants to take care of were the people who were standing right behind him when he was sworn in, Elon Musk and the billionaires. Yeah. And he wants to do that at the cost of everybody else in America. And that is why we are here to say we are not not going to let that happen. We're going to shut down the illegal DOGE Musk operation. Are you ready to shut it down? Yeah. We're going to shut it down together. Thank all of you for being here to blow the whistle on this most corrupt bargain that we've seen and stand up for our country and for working people and for families across America. God bless you all, and thank you all very much. And to the House members here, I want to thank every one of our House members here, and we're with you in the Senate. We're going to make sure that we put an end to this illegal, lawless operation.
Yes, that's right, because enough is enough. Thank you, Senator. We're going to next hear from Congresswoman Velazquez.
All right, Lydia.
Thank you so much, and thank you for bringing all of us together. Maxine, thank you so much for your leadership. And to all of you, this is our fight. This is the fight for the soul of our nation.
That's right. That's right.
And we got to fight it together. And when we are together, we win. We win. It is interesting. Yesterday, I was watching a video of an interview of Elon Musk with someone, and where he said that the Italians should stay in Italy and the Chinese should stay in China. My question to Elon Musk, and what the hell are you doing here in America? Go back to South Africa. He's here enriching himself and his company with taxpayers' dollars. Millions, hundreds of millions of dollars. But here we are, you know, at a time when this nation is facing an affordable crisis. What is the response coming out of the White House? At a time when housing costs are skyrocketing and homelessness is at all-time high, this administration isn't stepping up. They are stepping away. Instead of fixing the crisis, they are making it worse. You know, this is not about efficiency. This is about cruelty.
Yeah.
Cruelty.
Yeah.
Taking resources from the most vulnerable. And you know who does that? Coward.
That's right.
People who are coward.
Oh.
They go after the most vulnerable among us, seniors, children in inner cities and rural America. But where is the courage? Where is the courage?
That's right.
To say and recognize that Vladimir Putin is a dictator.
That's right.
You know, when he criticizes Zelensky and say that he is a dictator and that he initiated this war, it's just beyond comprehension.
That's right.
Coming from a guy who got his wealthy father to get a medical certificate so that he avoided the war.
That's right.
So, Mr. President, I have no respect for you. No respect for you. But let me just say to you that Democrats will not stand by while Donald Trump and his billionaire buddies tear down the programs that ensure Americans have a roof over their head. We should be investing more in public housing to make needed repairs across the country, not gutting this program. We should be holding greedy landlords accountable, not giving them a free pass, and we should be cracking down on the warehousing of vacant units by speculators who would rather let homes sit empty than offer them to families in need. My friends, we will win. We will defeat them. And everything that is coming out of Donald Trump is a distraction. It's a distraction. Let me remind all of you, if you went to the grocery store like I did this morning, when Donald Trump was inaugurated, the price of eggs The national average was $5.20. Today is $9.99. Mr. President, you promised Americans that you will lower the price of groceries on day one. We're waiting for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Congresswoman. We are waiting. So next we'll hear from Lisa Rice, President and CEO of the National Fair Housing Alliance.
Our nation is facing a housing crisis of unprecedented proportions. Last year alone, we saw a record-breaking level of housing discrimination complaints in these United States of America. In fact, there are a staggering 4 million instances of housing discrimination each and every single year. Most of these complaints, however, go unreported. Why? Because people don't believe anybody is actually going to help them. More than just statistics, these numbers actually reveal the daily reality for countless of Americans who are struggling to access fair and affordable housing in this nation. Affordable housing is the second issue of concern for Americans behind inflation. And we know that rising housing costs is actually what is driving inflation in the United States. And in many cities, evictions are happening at a rate that is higher than the rate we saw before the COVID pandemic. Yet as the nation is facing a housing crisis, instead of helping us obtain the American dream, President Trump and Secretary Turner have chosen this moment to eviscerate the affirmatively furthering fair housing rule and to abruptly cut nearly 50%, hear me, 50% of fair housing program grants in this nation. These grants, that's right, almost 50% of fair housing grants that allow fair housing organizations in communities across this nation to help victims of discrimination. These organizations help provide vital services to tens of thousands of people in our nation. Fair housing organizations are the lifeline for so many Americans. These organizations help survivors of domestic violence and their families escape their abuser and find safe and secure housing. They help senior citizens by repairing their homes so that they can keep affordable homeowners insurance and avoid foreclosure. They work tirelessly to assist people who have disabilities to get reasonable modifications and accommodations so they can enjoy their homes and have accessible housing units. They help people who have been denied a loan due to appraisal bias and algorithmic bias. They fight right alongside survivors of sexual harassment and racial harassment. And these organizations are on the ground in their communities helping to upgrade and modernize zoning ordinances so that cities can build affordable and fair housing. Despite promising to vigorously enforce the Fair Housing Act, and I don't know how many of you saw the nomination hearing of Pastor Scott Turner. Yeah, you heard me. Pastor Scott Turner, who professes Christianity. Now, the last time I read the sacred text, it said, whatever you do to the least of these, my children, you've done it unto me. This pastor, he's aligning himself with a president who wants to eviscerate fair housing laws and turn his back on victims of discrimination. We cannot and we will not stand idly by while they attack our civil rights. We know that when we fight, when we fight, when we fight, and we're fighting, we will restore civil rights. We will strengthen and protect fair housing rights in the United States. And we are doing it because we must ensure a future where housing discrimination has no place in America.
Thank you. Yes. So we'll next hear from Congressman Cleaver.
I was raised in housing called public housing. And I am absolutely convinced that one of our number one needs right now is for us to rehabilitate and then build adequate housing for poor people.
Yes, sir.
And that's why I will follow Maxine Waters in any battle, because I know she's going to battle to the end. My first time to preach was at the church of my mentor, Ralph David Abernathy, the West 100th Street Baptist Church in Atlanta. And I was nervous just because I thought I'd mess up. And so one of my friends said, well, if you mess up the scripture, you keep saying it, and it'll come to you. And so I'm up walking on the chancellery that's up high, and there are people sitting down low. And so I started. I said, out of the book of Revelation, behold, I cometh, but I couldn't. Behold, I cometh, and it wasn't coming, right? Behold, I cometh. And in my obedience to the people who had told me to repeat it, they said, and then try to walk around, people will think you're doing it deliberately. So I started walking. Behold, I cometh. Behold, I cometh. And then I tripped and fell right into the lap of a woman sitting right there in the front row. It was the older woman, she had all white on. And she said, baby, you told me you were coming, so I'm not mad. I should have moved. Let me make this clear. I grew up in public housing, a lot of stuff I can't pronounce correctly. And so when I think about what's going on here, I'm thinking that DOGE means Dodge. Dodge. Let the word go now. Behold, we cometh.
All right.
We cometh. We're going to dodge all of the attempts to mess with poor people. We're going to dodge all of the attempts to shut down civil rights. We're going to dodge all the dodging people who need to be dodged out of town. Behold, we cometh. Behold, we cometh. You better get ready. Behold, we cometh.
A good sermon. All right, so next we're going to hear from, who is next? Congresswoman Tlaib.
Thank you so much. You know, I come from the most beautiful, blackest city in the country, the city of Detroit. And we know that transformative change and resistance comes from all of you, making our institutions and the White House move. We didn't get the Civil Rights Act because the President of the United States said it was the right thing to do. It's because you made sure that we moved and made sure that it became law of the land, and we're still working on making it perfect. But you know what's interesting in being out there, and Stephen was next to me, you know, I said, you don't work for the American people. That's when he got upset. The guy got upset. I don't know who he is. They all don't look like, I don't know. They don't, it was so bizarre, right? It looked like bouncers. And he goes, yes, I do. And he didn't want to hear it. No, you work for Elon Musk. Get it straight. You don't work for the American people. Because if you did work for the American people, you wouldn't be in there trying to allow a dictatorship process come in here and take out housing. You know, housing is a human showing how this big ship that we buy, $11 billion, that if we just took away one ship, we could end homelessness in our country. But I keep thinking about the children. And you know, I get emotional about it because think about the babies. It's not their fault. No. It's not their fault. These folks don't care about these babies that are unhoused. You know, 180,000 of them sleep homeless,
Yes.
unhoused. And I'm here to raise the voice of those folks because I kept saying to them, and they heard me, you don't care about the 2 children that froze to death in Detroit. You don't care that she called for help and couldn't get it. And then you let go of the HUD employee that oversaw the compliance of the Detroit Housing Commission. Literally the person that makes sure they're in compliance, that they make sure that the call gets answered. You let her go. You let Leslie Desmond go. After working so incredibly hard to make sure that we, the federal government, is making sure that they're in compliance. But I keep thinking of those babies. Do you know that the Williams mother she kept apologizing to us? I'm sorry, I tried my best. She shouldn't be apologizing to us, we should be apologizing to her.
Wow. Wow.
And hearing her just tell her story of the baby, her 9-year-old that made her mother gone. And all she was trying to do is make ends meet. She was trying her best. She got evicted out of nowhere. This building, this department is supposed to address the struggle and the crisis of what the Williams family went. What's going to happen for the next Williams family? We already know they're right now in need of us having oversight and making sure that we have the HUD employees in place to make sure that we're in compliance. Because I'll tell you, even well-intended, without the HUD employees, the tenants' rights are not protected. The rights around civil rights is not protected. The calls that I get constantly about being unhoused or the fact that they don't have rights, this is where I call HUD. And even if it's slow and it's hard and everything because it's messy, the fact of the matter is somebody's answering the phone. And right now, hundreds and hundreds of HUD employees have been let go illegally. And now I am petrified of what's going to happen with many of the families. You know, we used to have 70% home ownership in Detroit, but over 50% now is renters. Why? Because what Chairwoman Waters said. Because the private equity firms come in and they swallow it up and they increase the housing. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care about the lead. They don't care about compliance. They don't care. They just want to extract from our families. But I'm here to say to all of you, as many of my colleagues say, you all have the power to resist and we're here to stand with you. And I can tell you that over and over again, what I'm seeing is that the louder you all get, the more that you all resist this fascist regime, the more we can win and push back and get our government restored because it's supposed to be working for the American people, not billionaires. Enough is enough.
Yes. Thank you, Congresswoman. Enough is enough. So we will next hear. Okay. So we'll now hear from Congressman Horsford from Las Vegas. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm Congressman Stephen Horsford from Las Vegas. I'm here to join with Chairwoman Maxine Waters, the members of the Financial Services Committee, and members of Congress to tell Elon Musk, get your grubby hands off of our housing. I represent a district where 1 in 3 homes are owned by these corporate, greedy Wall Street hedge funds. 1 in 3. Last year alone, one company bought $1 billion of properties. They're driving up the cost of rent. They're making it harder for first-time home buyers or veterans to use their VA benefit. They're making it harder for families to own a part of the American dream. So while you all are working to build up our communities, Elon Musk and Donald Trump are tearing down our communities. And we're here to tell them, evict Elon. You want to evict somebody? Evict his ass. We understand the pressures of homelessness and those who are unhoused. When rent goes up 30%, that forces people out of their housing. It puts those children out on the street.
Yes.
It makes those who are most vulnerable unemployed and struggling to get by. But we're here because we're not going to let them tear down our housing. We're not going to let them set us back.
No.
Because home ownership is also about closing the racial wealth gap in this country.
Yes, sir.
And these are the members who have been fighting for that. Elon Musk and his hackers don't know shit about what it means to run a housing program. They don't know nothing about what it means to go unhoused. And they don't know nothing about what it takes to pay a mortgage. So get out of the way and let us lead, because if you don't, the people will make sure you're held accountable.
Yes, sir.
That's right. Thank you, Congressman. We'll hear next from Congresswoman Beatty.
All right.
Yes.
Good evening and thank you. It is such an honor for me to stand here with Chairwoman Waters and the other members of the Financial Services Committee. But I come today to first say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to you for being out here, because we know that we are in the middle of a national crisis.
Yes.
Today is housing. Before it was Treasury.
Yes.
Then it was the CFPB. Where will they stop?
That's right.
Well, they won't. And that's where you come in. We are fighting so hard because of you. You make us understand that we must do more. And this is a part of our do more. But let me just tell you, this is very personal for me. My very first job, you know how proud you get to get that first job, that first paycheck. Well, my first job was with the Housing Authority.
Wow.
I was so excited that HUD had given me an opportunity as a young adult.
Yes.
And for more than 2 decades, I worked for HUD, making sure that people like us,
Yes.
people like all of us, members of Congress grew up in public housing.
Yes.
My relatives and family grew up in public housing. So we understand.
That's-
We understand that we're not going to let them take our housing away.
No.
We understand that we already have an affordable housing crisis where people can't put a roof over their head. We understand if you don't know what HUD or public housing is, well, we're going to break it down for you. You understand when somebody puts your behind out. You understand when you get evicted. We're going to put it in the language. Well, by them taking away vouchers, they're evicting us. And we're not going to stand for it. You understand or know somebody that's on Section 8. Or you may have a property that's on Section 8. So this involves both sides of it. And we're not going to stand for that. We already know that in some states we don't have enough vouchers, which means we can't put children and women and families together. That's why we're out here. So when people ask you, why are the members of Congress out there protesting? You tell them because we're standing with you, because we're not going to let Musk and Trump control our housing. We're not going to let Musk and Trump control us. So now people are calling saying, what are we going to do? Well, I'm going to tell you what we're going to do. We need you, first of all.
That's right.
We need you to make sure that you call them.
That's right.
That you write them. That you keep protesting them, because we're not going away as members of Congress. Congresswoman Waters sends out the message and we show up. We show up in our districts. We're going to show up tomorrow and we're going to show out as we tell them what we want. Every day we're going to show out. And let me just tell you, they get elected. So you have a secret weapon. See, the more you protest and the more you call Republicans out. See, it's not just about Trump and Elon Musk. It's about those Republicans who aren't standing up for you. Well, see, Musk may be unelected, unvetted, but those Republicans are elected. So you have a secret weapon. So you need to tell those Republicans who aren't standing up to Musk and who aren't standing up to Trump that you're going to stand up to them. Let's make them scared. Let's make them scared, because your secret weapon is you voted. And you voted for many of us, and some voted for some of those Republicans because they made you promises. Well, let me just tell you, they lie. They lied just like Donald Trump. So we want Speaker Johnson to know. We want every Republican over there to know that we're coming after them. We are not just coming after Trump and Musk, because they took an oath to protect, to serve, to stand with us. So if they're not standing with us on housing, what more could we expect out of them? So I'm going to make you a promise. You come out here, I'm going to be out here with my colleagues. You say holler louder, I'm going to holler louder. You say hands off our affordable housing. You say housing is a human right. We see you, we hear you, we stand with you. And I can lastly tell you, I'm from the great state of Ohio in the Midwest. We don't have enough housing. And if they want to cut 50%, that's going to take away the jobs. So when you are trying to get your mortgage and going in and you want to tell them that you're getting ready to buy a home, we don't have workers there to serve you. When you come in to see about your Section 8 voucher, there are not going to be enough workers there to help you. When you come in for anything that you need, if they cut it, they're cutting workers, they're cutting jobs, and they're cutting the people who serve us. And that's what's so important today. So I'm going to end like I started. Thank you for being out here with us. Thank you for standing. See, we come to support you. We got something for Musk and Trump. We don't care about them, but we care about you. We're going to fight against them because we want to send them home, because they are protecting billionaires. They are giving cuts to the billionaires. And so our question is, what about the hard-working folks? What about the folks that are out here doing what's right? And so I want you to remember, we stand with you, and we're going to fight with you. And we're going to help you, because we know this is our time. And get angry, I know. Be upset, I know. But I'm going to tell you, this too will pass. This too will pass, because we're not going away. This too will pass, because we're going to stand up against them. We're here to give you hope. See, you're not alone in this fight. We're bringing our anger. We're bringing our frustration. And we're standing with you, because we know together, standing together, we can make the real difference that we need. We can take them on. It's just two of them. Come on, y'all. We know how to fight. We know how to get down in the mud a little bit. And when our families are at stake, we're going to fight harder. And that sign says, this is one of those moments in history. So I'm going to tell you, we need you. This is our moment. This is our time. Let's fight for public housing. Let's fight for affordable housing. Let's fight to tell Donald Trump and Elon Musk we coming after them. Thank you. I'm Congresswoman Joyce Beatty.
Thank you, Congresswoman. We will now hear from Congressman Davis.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much. I'm Danny Kenyatta Davis, and I come from Chicago, Illinois. In Chicago, we call it the city of the big shoulders, meaning that our city is big enough, bold enough, and fights enough for affordable housing, for people with disabilities, for people who are homeless, for people who need a decent place in which to live. So Maxine Waters, Chairman Maxine, thank you for your leadership. Thank all of you who've come out. And as it was said earlier, we will fight till hell freezes over before we give up our housing.
Thank you. We'll next hear from Congressman Jackson.
Thank you so much. I'm Congressman Jackson from the great state of Illinois, 1st District. I want to thank Chairwoman Maxine Waters. Give her a loving round of applause. I want to thank all of my colleagues that have showed up and showed out today. I want to tell you what I just witnessed. As a member of Congress, I've tried to enter the Department of Housing and Urban Development. We were met there with nothing but a brutal set of police officers that got into an altercation with one of our members. Members of the United States House of Representatives on this day, March 3rd, 2025, led by our ranking member, Congresswoman Waters, was denied entrance into the Housing and Urban Development Department. So people are asking, what are we doing? We are showing up. We're standing up, fighting for you. And don't lose this moment in history. Anyone that was born after 1965, when we marched across the Selma and the Edmund Pettus Bridge, we're the first generation that has had equal rights after 346 years. Now, 60 years later, in this same week, as we're going back to Selma to go back over the bridge, our rights are being turned back around. Yes, sir. They're trying to turn back the hands of time. Well, let me tell you something, Donald J. Trump. We're at the Department of Housing and Urban Development. Don't you forget, you live in public housing at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. The White House is public housing, and we're not going back. Mr. Elon Musk, coming from South Africa, an Afrikaner, making all kind of salutes. We don't want to resegregate housing, unemployment in the United States of America. You can leave. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. When we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. We're going to do this all the way to the end. Victory shall be ours.
Thank you, Congressman. We'll next hear from Donald Whitehead, who is Executive Director of the National Coalition for the Homeless.
Good afternoon, and I want to thank you all for being here. And the reason we're here is because there are some people in the administration who are under some misconceptions. The misconceptions are that we are in the United States of Donald Trump. We are not in Donald Trump's America. We are in the United States of America. We will not let our country be taken. Last year, we saw an 18% increase in people living outside in America. An 18% increase. The year before, it was a 12% increase. Together, that's a 30% increase in people homeless in the United States of America, the richest country in the world. It is not okay. We cannot be satisfied with growing homelessness and a Secretary of HUD that doesn't understand that we can't survive with half of the staff of the Department of Housing and Urban Development. We are here because they need to know that housing matters, that housing is a human right, that they need to keep their hands off of our public housing. We are here because the only way that we can do that is if we do that as a united force, because the people united can never be defeated. The people united can never be defeated. Housing is a human right. We are in the United States of America. We cannot let our country be taken. We don't have enough housing. We don't have enough dollars for housing. We have never had the dollars at the level of need in this country. We can't go backwards. This is not the time to cut back on housing. This is not the time to make people in this building homeless. A month ago, they had a job. without any warning at all, those jobs were taken away. 50% of HUD's workforce. I get 100 calls today. People are wondering where they can get help for housing. That was before these proposed cuts. We cannot afford that to happen. What we have to do is continue to come out here. I thank the members of Congress. I hope you keep showing up. And I hope you make them let you into the building. You are the United States Congress. Nobody has a right to shut you out. Again, we live in the United States of America where the preamble to the Constitution is we have the unalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. You cannot pursue happiness in an abandoned building. You can't pursue happiness in a car in the back seat. We have a country where babies are being born in American buildings, in abandoned buildings. We cannot stand for that. Please continue to come out. Please continue to demand that housing is a human right and hands off our housing. Thank you.
They not like us. They not like us. They not like us. They're not like us. They're not like us.
All right, all right.
They are not like us. Thank you, Congresswoman. So next we're going to hear from Congresswoman Takuda.
Where is she?
Right here.
Oh, hello.
Welcome.
All right.
Aloha, everyone.
Hello.
I just flew 6,000 miles away, and the first place I landed was right here.
All right.
Now, I know it's cold, and it's getting dark, but let me tell you something. As I look around at what I see here, you are the light.
Yes.
You are the light, and you are the hope.
Yes.
Today, something shameful happened.
Yes.
This building, look at this building here, my friends.
Yes.
This building was built on your backs.
Yes.
Taxpayer dollars.
Yes.
That's right.
And to say a member of the United States Congress cannot enter to deliver the voice of millions of people that we represent from Vermont to Hawaii, that's shame.
That's it.
We got to call their shame.
Shame.
I would not be here if my teenage parents didn't have Section 8.
Yes.
I would not be living in the house I live in if it wasn't for an affordable housing project. You know what HUD is? HUD is hope. It's more than a home. It's more than four walls. It is hope. So right now, look at this building. Right now, this building is holding hostage our HUD workers, patriots, patriots who need to be freed, patriots who have been let go, patriots in every one of our state who need some aloha right now. So I want you to face this building, and I want you to tell them, we love HUD. 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 I don't care what DOGE thinks they're going to do, breaking down our housing, taking away our rights. We will stand between them and make sure everyone knows housing is a human right. Hands off our public housing. Get your fucking hands out of this building. Aloha.
That's right. That's right. All right. So we're now going to hear from Representative Balint.
Hi, I'm Becca Balint. I represent the great state of Vermont. I'm so glad I went after Jill Takuda from Hawaii because we are like the bookends of the country. And we understand that homelessness and people who are struggling looks different in rural America. But I can tell you Vermont has one of the worst rates of homelessness in the nation. We have a terrible housing crisis. And I, like my colleague from Detroit earlier, I think about the kids. I was a teacher for years in 4 different rural public schools in Vermont. I know what it looks like when kids don't have a safe place to rest their head at night, when they don't know that they're going to be safe and secure in their housing. They can't bring their best to school. Of course they can't. They're exhausted. They're doing the best they can. Their parents are doing the best they can, but they don't have a fair shot. That's why we're out here today. We want to give every kid, no matter where they live, a fair shot, and HUD is a part of that. So look, you've been out here a long time. It's cold, and as Jill said, we can see the light. Here's the other thing that we see in all of you. We see the courage.
Yeah.
Someone said, where is the courage?
Yeah.
Where's the courage? We have the courage.
Yeah.
Where is the courage?
Yeah.
We have the courage. Where is the courage? We have the courage. And when we come together in solidarity and connection, we will not be defeated by a billionaire who has no idea what it is to try to make ends meet in this country. Do you know the other day, he called those who take advantage of federal programs, he called them parasites. Parasites. He called Social Security a Ponzi scheme.
He's a parasite.
We make an oath behind us to the Constitution.
That's right.
And we do our jobs on behalf of millions of Americans who just want what they have coming to them, which is a fair shot. Thank you for being out here. You are the courage, and you give us all the inspiration to continue to fight with you. Together. Together we will do this. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Congresswoman. So we're next going to hear from Rhoda Gibson, co-chair of the National Adapt Housing Working Group.
Yes.
Those are my wonderful adapters. You're screaming there. Maxine Waters, thank you so much, and we are so honored to be here.
Yes.
Because you have been with us and working with us since 2017.
Yes.
Since 2017, she has been with us.
Yes.
And we're here today to speak on and agree with everything Maxine Waters and everyone else up here has said. But today, especially this year, 2025, National Adapt is all about the keys to community living.
Yes.
Housing,
Yes.
services,
Yes.
wages.
Yes.
Without housing, all of us here, we couldn't live in the community. We have brothers and sisters that are incarcerated in nursing homes and facilities because people think we're not worth it. That we don't do anything but lay in the freaking bed. No, we do more than that.
That's right.
We have people here from Philadelphia, from Pennsylvania, Harrisburg, from Minnesota, and where else? Oh, Boston, where I'm from. I forgot. But the keys to the community is important because we don't want our brothers and sisters to be still incarcerated.
That's right.
And then we need those services so we can have the supports that we need to live and work in the community.
That's right.
And we need the wages because our PCA's attendants, they need to have a livable wage too.
Right.
They live in the community. They may be on Section 8 as well, and we need that. So Elon Musk, I don't want to say the word I was going to say, but that man called Trump, that fucking Trump needs to fucking live a day in our shoes. See what we go through. We need affordable, accessible, integrated housing. Affordable, accessible, integrated housing. Affordable, accessible, integrated housing.
Affordable, accessible, integrated housing.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Rhoda. Let's say, yeah, Rhoda. Yeah, Rhoda. Yeah, Rhoda. Yeah, Rhoda. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Miss Rhoda. Thank you. Yes. All right, so we're next going to hear from Dr. Everett Kelly of the American Federation of Government Employees.
Good evening. How's my family? First of all, I want to say thank you to Congresswoman Maxine Waters and to all of the other congressional personnel that have been with us tonight, to all of you. And I want to pause parenthetically and just say thank you to the workers at HUD.
That's right.
whom I represent. I am proud to represent 800,000 federal and D.C. government workers. And they are under attack like never before. But I'm here to tell Elon Musk and Donald Trump that we are not going nowhere. We are here and we're going to stand and we're going to fight because we are family, right? Now, let me just say this. Now, I am a product of Project Living, okay? Born and raised in rural Alabama. Didn't even have an inside bathroom until I was 13 years old. But because of public housing, I am here today. And I am grateful and I thank God that I'm here. Now, let me say this here. Now, we came here to send a message that message needs to be loud and clear. Donald Trump. Let me hear you. Donald Trump, Elon Musk, take your hands off of housing. Now, as I said, I'm from an old school, and there was a story told once about a little boy that used to go to school, and the big boys would pick on him, and so they were bullying, and so one day the little boy said, you know what, I'm gonna find me another route to go to school because I'm tired of these little boys, these big boys picking on me. And so he did, and they noticed that he wasn't coming that way, so they decided, we're gonna go to his house. Okay, and we're gonna thump his head and we're gonna push him around. And so that morning, knocked on the door. And the little boy walked out and he looked out the window and he looked back at his daddy and he said, Daddy, you told me to always respect folk, never to start trouble. But if trouble ever knock on our door, we're gonna stand together as family, right? That's what we're gonna do? Now, Sliding the Family Stone says, what did he say? It's a family affair, right? Sister Sled said, we are what? We are family. And brothers and sisters, they have knocked on our door. What are we gonna do? We're gonna stand as family. We're gonna fight like hell until this has been done. Can I get a witness here? Can we do it? Why can't we do it? We can do this. We can do this because we have the power. People power. Let me hear you say, we power. We the people have the power. I got 2 words.
Come on up here, y'all. Come out.
2 words. Let me hear you say it. Evict Elon. Evict Elon. Evict Elon.
That's right. That's right.
Yes, that's right. Evict Elon. That's right. So now we're going to go to Dr. Robinson, American Federation of Government Employees.
Good afternoon. My name is Ashaki Robinson, Dr. Ashaki Robinson, and I represent the 3,500 employees that work at the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, and the Weaver Building and the D.C. field office. I could probably spend the rest of the evening, the people that know me know that I can do it, talking about all the things that have been going on in this agency, how they're riffing employees, how they're not letting us come into the building and letting us sit outside for an hour because they're afraid of us. They don't want us to come in with weapons, but we haven't used any weapons against these people.
That's right.
The only thing that we've done is we've done our job. I have worked in the federal government for 18 years, and I ain't going nowhere. They're going to have to drag me out of this place because I made a choice 18 years ago. I made a choice to work for the federal government. I could have gone anywhere. We can go anywhere, but we choose to work for the American people. The reason that I'm here right now is because I care about my community. It's not just about the workers. It's about the work that we do. If we are not here, you will not be housed. If we are not here, there will be no fair housing. If we are not here, we cannot rely on anybody to have our back. You need us because we need you. So I'm going to introduce 2 employees, one that used to work at HUD and one that currently works at HUD. These people are dedicated. These people work on fair housing. These people actually took the time out tonight. Instead of looking for another job, they came here to talk to you about what they do. So I want to introduce our Federal HUD employees, as they come up, Abigail Young.
Abigail. All right, Abigail. All right.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Abigail.
All right.
And I'm a member of AFGE Local Chapter 476.
All right.
And I'm speaking with you today as a local member. I'm a practicing attorney, and I became an attorney to support and protect the American people.
All right.
All right. However, I was illegally removed from my job a little over 2 weeks ago. My job at HUD is to protect the American people.
Yes.
From greedy and predatory housing providers.
That's right. Call.
The work that I do on behalf of the American people is important because I protect the people against housing providers and HUD's business partners that violate HUD's regulations and federal laws. My work included going after loan servicers who charge junk fees.
All right.
Junk fees are additional fees charged to borrowers when they make mortgage payments online or on the phone. For example, you're a first-time home buyer who finally was able to afford a home, and you get a loan from FHA to pay your mortgage. You decide to pay your mortgage over the phone or online. However, you're charged a junk fee each time. These fees add up quickly and impact people's ability to continue to pay their mortgage and have safe and stable housing. I was working to get that money back to the American people.
Yeah.
At HUD, we sought full restitution to the FHA borrowers who were charged these junk fees. That means that we were working to ensure that those borrowers got the money back.
Yes.
Now, that work is over. The work that agencies like HUD do to support Americans all over the country is being stopped and impeded because workers like me were fired simply because we joined HUD 2 years ago. I chose to work in the federal government to protect the American people from corporate greed and ensure that housing is affordable and safe. I want to work and I want to serve the American people. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we also have Paul Asadebe. He is a trial attorney with with Office of General Counsel, Fair Housing.
Hey everyone, I'm Paul Asadebe. I'm a trial attorney in fair housing. I'm also a steward with AFGE Local 476. So I represent a lot of the people out in this crowd, and I'm so happy to see all of the people out here who care about fair housing, who care about affordable housing, who want people to have safe housing. That's what everyone in America wants, except for Elon Musk, apparently. And because of that, we are under attack. The services that you rely on day to day to keep a roof over your head and to keep bankers from scamming you, from taking advantage of you, to keep people from discriminating against you. We are the people who do that work. And that is why we're being fired. When you hear them talk about fraud and waste and abuse, that's what they're talking about. The things that protect you, the American people, they don't want that because it doesn't benefit them. It doesn't put money in their pockets, and so they want it gone. They want us gone. But I'm not going anywhere. I'm here. I'm here. Even if they throw me out, I'm coming back in. There's a lot of entrances over here. I'll wait in line. I'm okay. The work that we do is crucial. This agency, this department was started in the 60s at the height of the civil rights movement. When people were marching out in the streets for dignity and for affordable housing. That's what this agency is supposed to do. And that's the work that's being harmed when the contracts for the civil rights organizations all across the country in your local communities that are protecting people from discrimination just because they have a kid or because they have a disability, those contracts are being cut. The employees like me who do fair housing work, who work all across the country and don't work just for one state or one locality, who look at the big picture so that big organizations, big banks, big landlords, developers can't just run over the American people. We're the ones who do that. So when you lose us, you lose that. You lose the ability to have your voice heard, to be protected, and we're not going to stand for that.
No.
And that's why we need the secretary to do his job.
That's right. Do your job.
It's simple as that. Do your job and let us do our job. Stop the illegal firings, stop the layoffs, stop the impounding funds. Let us do our work. And when we do that, the American people will be protected, they'll be better off, and people will have the communities that they want. That's what we need. So all the people out there in this crowd, watching at home, we need you to join this fight to protect your services. Because as they cut us, they cut you. And so we need you calling your representatives, but not just that, go visit them. Go to these town halls. You already have them running scared. Keep going. Keep going. Keep calling them. Keep showing up in their offices. Join your groups. Go to rallies like this. Strike. Do whatever you need to do to use your power. Because when we all use our power, when we collectively use our power, we cannot be stopped. They will be stopped. And that's what we need to do.
That's right. Yes, thank you. Thank you for that. So we have one last speaker for this evening, and her name is Elena Waldrum, and she is with the American Association of Service Coordinators. Elena. Yeah, look, you get to close us out.
Thank you. I was in the back texting people saying there's no way that I'm going to get to speak tonight. So good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
My name's Elena Waldrum. I'm with the American Association of Service Coordinators. We represent the staff who work in the federal buildings to help the residents live their best lives. Okay? Yes. We are in Section 202 properties. We are connecting older adults with the services that they need, assistance, transportation, getting to their doctor's appointments. We are in public housing under the Ross and the FSS program, and we are trying to help people meet their needs, whether it's financial literacy, job training, childcare, whatever it takes. Service coordinators are there for you all. Let me be perfectly clear here. I am so heartened to see you all, because there is nothing that we care about more than the work the people in this building do, the work the advocates do, the work the residents do, and we are grateful every day for you guys. Thank you so much to Low Income Housing Coalition for bringing us all together tonight. Thank you. Hands off our housing.
Hands off our housing. Hands off our housing.
Hi, everybody. Lisa Rice with the National Fair Housing Alliance again, and I just had to come up here and say one last thing. So I have the last word. Is that okay, Renee? Can we all thank the National Low Income Housing Coalition? They put this together. They organized. I can't tell you the number of emails with run of shows, putting together all of the logistics to make this happen, fighting for the American people. So thank you, National Low Income Housing Coalition. And thank you, Maxine Waters, Ranking Member Waters, for your committed leadership, we thank you so much for standing up for housing every single day. Renee, thank you. Thank you.
Lisa. Thank you. Thank you so much, Lisa. And thank you to everyone who came out. Thank you to Congresswoman Maxine Waters, to the congressional champions who were here today. Thank you to all the advocacy groups who spoke and didn't speak and who were here, who were present. We thank you to everyone who came out here in the cold today. And I just want to say one final thing, and really it's to